as game number 5 of this best of 7 series was now as a best of 3. The Sabres and the Canadiens here at the KeyBank Center. Whoever wins this game has a 3-2 series lead. Going back to Montreal for game 6, the question is, who's going to get that 3-2 series lead? Hello everybody, I'm Max. Glad you can be with us on our coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs here on the NHL and MHS. And we're glad to have you with us here. Obviously, a chaotic game that happened in game 4. Montreal having a lot of power plays in that one, and they just could not take advantage of any of them. Meanwhile, the Sabres got some friendly bounces, especially the tying goal on their power play goal. The Tage Thompson goal that banked off the stanchion and into the net, all banked off of Dobish as well. And tie game at 2, and then they got a power play goal in the third, which stood out to be the game winner, a 3-2 win for the Sabres on the road. The question is, can they carry that momentum? Because, man, they were looking real rough in some parts in this series. They have looked a little rough in this series, honestly, the Buffalo Sabres, for the majority of it. The Canadiens have been playing a better game, and they're probably frustrated that they didn't put it away and probably put a 3-1 series lead in this series coming here to Buffalo. But that's hockey, baby. That's how it happens sometimes. You can dominate a team and then you somehow lose 3-2 or something like that. It's just, that's how hockey works sometimes. You don't have to be the best team, but if you can get the goals, you got to score more than the opponent. And that's what it worked out for the Buffalo Sabres, and they have the opportunity here on home ice to take a 3-2 series lead. Now the question is, can the Canadiens bounce back from another loss, and can their goalie do so as well? Dobish, he is 4-0 after a loss, a .948 save percentage, and a 1.9 goals against average in the playoffs after a loss. And the Canadiens this season, in the regular season, they were tied for second in the NHL in road wins with 29 this season. And now they are 4-2 in this postseason. Now the question is, can they do it again? That'll be the question that we're going to have to figure out in just a couple of minutes. And one player that's starting to heat up and could potentially contribute here for the Montreal Canadiens is Alex Newhook. He has 5 goals in 3 games, and Newhook is looking to become the first Canadian player with 4-game goal streak in the playoffs since Alexei Kovalev in 2004. That's 22 years ago. Unbelievable. And we'll see who gets the first 3 goals in this game, because whenever these two teams scored 3+ goals in these Stanley Cup playoffs, they have not lost. They're combined 11-0. Sabres are 6-0. The Canadiens are 5-0. It's a 50-50 right now how this series is going to go, with a series tied at 2. Unbelievable. I mean, who knows? There's going to be one play in this game, one play in this series that could make it determine who's going to win this series. It feels like that type of game here in Buffalo tonight. And now the question is, can the Sabres come up with the victory, or will it be the Canadiens on the road? They're already 4-2 in this postseason, trying to make it 5-2 and take a 3-2 series lead back to the Bell Center for Game 6. If you're the Sabres, you do not want to let that happen. We'll be right back, and we'll talk about the goalies in tonight's game and lineup changes before the anthems and the puck drop. Game 5 between the Sabres and the Canadiens is brought to you by the coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs here on the NHL on MHS. And welcome you back here to Buffalo for Game 5 of this series, taking place here at the KeyBank Center. A crucial game between these two teams. One of them will come out with a 3-2 series lead. That's the only thing we can guarantee y'all tonight. Now the question is, who will it be? And we'll give you the goalies there starting in tonight's game as we welcome you in, everybody. An intense game that hopefully lived up to its expectations. And for the Buffalo side of things, they're going to go with Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. He came into Game 4 after not playing since Game 2 against Boston in the first round. And now he picked up his first victory since Game 1 of that series against Boston after he was pretty good in Game number 4 of this series. As Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen in these playoffs, 2-1, a 3.37 goals against average, a save percentage of a .873. No shutouts, as obviously Alex Lyon got the yank after Game 3, that 6-2 loss to the Canadiens. Speaking of the Canadiens, we'll go to the Canadian side of things with Jacob Dobish, who has been their goalie throughout the whole playoffs. No Montembeault or no Fowler. It has been Dobish. He is 6-5 in these Stanley Cup playoffs, a 2.22 goals against average, a save percentage of a .914. And the question is, can he bounce back like how his stats are right now after a loss? And you got to know, if you're Buffalo, look out for Alex Newhook. He is heating up. But you can also see Cole Caulfield starting to heat up. He's had a goal in back-to-back games in this series. Both on the power play, nothing on 5-on-5 for Cole Caulfield, but he is starting to get some traction. And for the Buffalo Sabres, you do not want to let that happen. For Montreal, it's coming at the right time. And Tage Thompson, probably going to be one of those players you got to look out for if you're the Canadiens. 11 points in these playoffs, 4 goals, 7 assists. He got that lucky bounce to tie the game at 2 in Game 4. Now, will he take advantage of that? Maybe, and get something going as well. We haven't seen a good performance from him, an elite performance from him since that Game 1 of the Boston series where he scored 2 to tie the game against Boston. And the comeback for the Sabres in that Game 1. And now the players are on the ice here inside the KeyBank Center, as we are just moments away from a crucial game number 5
and we
between these two teams. And this should be a delight to see. And I don't even know. It's a 50-50. It's literally a 50-50 on who's going to win this game, in my opinion. It is just, you don't know. I honestly can't choose which team's going to pull out with the victory here. You could argue with Buffalo. They got a little bit better in Game 4. Maybe they can momentum to Game 5 because they did frustrate Montreal. Montreal did play a better game in Game 4, but they couldn't bury those opportunities. You got to know they're frustrated not getting those power plays converted in that game number 4 for the Montreal Canadiens. But if you're the Canadiens, you played a good Game 4. You dominated. You just didn't win. Now it's somehow 2-2, but you can still find a way. You know you can beat this Buffalo team. You've been out playing them. You know you got the capabilities of doing this. They haven't played a very bad game since game number 1 of the series, which was a 5-2 loss, 4-2 loss here in Buffalo. And now the intro's happening right now as we will go down to the PA guy. What's that?
4 years ago on this date, 10 lives were taken from us in a tragic shooting on Buffalo's east side. Today and always, we remember and honor the 10 neighbors, friends, and family members we lost on May 14th, 2022. We now ask that you please rise, if you are able, and remove your hats for the presentation of the colors by the Erie County Sheriff's Honor Guard. And now the singing of O Canada and the Star-Spangled Banner, performed tonight by Cammie Clooney.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Sabres fans, it's time to get on your feet and get loud as we have Jason Pominville here to get tonight's game started.
Well, Jason Pominville in the building, revving up this Sabres crowd. Marty St. Louis, 4-0 following a loss this postseason, the head coach of the Canadiens. 5-10 all-time in Game 5, when series tied 2-2 in best of sevens, Lindy Ruff and the Buffalo Sabres. We'll see if they can change that here tonight. Here at home for Game 5, the KeyBank Center. A crucial game between these two teams. One of them will have a 3-2 series lead. We're underway here in Game 5. Luukkonen left it there. Dahlin has it in behind his own net. Canadiens making no changes into their lineup, while the Buffalo Sabres bringing in Luke Schenn for his second playoff game here of this postseason. As Stanley is out of this one. Around the boards it goes as Slafkovsky's tied up from behind there by Samuelsson. Out to center it goes. It comes for Caulfield as the puck was riding along the boards and got it towards him. Dahlin. Now it's Benson. Scored the game winner in Game 4 and was able to drink after the game because it was his birthday. Scored the game-winning goal on his birthday. His birthday wish came true there. Power will fire it back in from center. Round the boards it rides, and Carrier in behind the net. Has it on the backhand, looking to flip it out, and he does. Knocked down here by Anderson, carrying it back in on side. Josh Anderson Round the boards it goes as Texier spins back. Pressure from the line there and played back to the point. Matheson's shot deflected and a save made. Luukkonen. Here come the Sabres the other way, looking to counter. Back in onside is Krebs. Shot wide of the net. Goes back to the line as it's held in by Timmins. Power across. One-timer stopped as it was blocked on the way through by Carrier. Along the boards, Quinn. Thompson looking to center one for Quinn again, and it did not go. Comes back to the line. Another shot deflected into the corner. Comes back to the point. Along the boards, Krebs got knocked down from behind. Timmins, the long shot. Save made into the corner. Dobish. Deneau around the boards. Matheson trying to deflect it. Texier lost it at the blue line. Stolen away here. Hellenius looking. Tough angle shot was stopped. Quinn in behind the net. Looking. Quinn feeds that back to the line. Timmins across. Here's a chance for Quinn and a shot. Scores! Quinn, and it's 1-0 Sabres. Just 2 minutes in. Zucker deflects it in. It deflected in off a body in front. The Quinn shot from the circle. Off the skate of Zucker, off the back of Matheson in front of the net. He was batting with Hellenius. And the Sabres, 2 minutes into Game 5, have the 1-0 lead. 10th career postseason goal for Jason Zucker. And it is a 1-0 lead for the Sabres early on here in Game 5. Icing, no, waved off Luukkonen. Around the boards it goes, deflected out to center. Here come the Sabres once again. McLeod fires it back in from the red line. Around the boards, Dobish played it in behind. First goal this postseason for Jason Zucker, though. Big hit in the corner delivered there. As Montreal is on their heels right now, and this one has almost stolen away there by Greenway. Forced a turnover, though. Norris, another big hit, played back to the line. Shot, Samuelson blocked. Comes back for Norris on the backhand, trying to feed it in front. Greenway has it in the corner. Tied up along the wall, comes free for Demidov, who clears it out. But Buffalo looking strong here in this game number 5. At least in this first period. Doan, now Shen. Will look to carry it ahead, instead past it. Timmins off his back of his skate. And here come the Sabres the other way. Doan is back in, crossing the line. Got it low. Benson tried to at least. Now he gets it behind the net now for Benson. Pressure from behind there by Dobson. Norris on the backhand, lost it. Now Doan gets there first, out muscling him. Goes around the boards here for Dahlin. To the corner it goes. Dahlin played a pass there. Benson in the corner, tied up by 2 Canadiens. Finally getting the puck there was Hudson. Trying to clear it out. They're on their heels again. Another big hit miss there. And still it is out to center. Kirby Dach one-on-one. Dach, shot, save, rebound, Dach off the goalpost at the side of the net and trying to bake it in, Dach. It came back to him again. The weird bounce there almost went in the favor for the Canadiens. Hudson spins back into his own zone. Matheson with the puck. Just in that one chance by Kirby Dach. Canadiens have even the shots at 3. They were 3-0 Buffalo in the shot advantage. Played back to the line along the boards as Krebs, Carrier taken away there by Krebs. He is forced off along the boards. Byram off the glass, can't clear it. Tuck trying to force it out, couldn't. Tage Thompson steals it away and flips it out to center ice. Going back for the puck here is Matheson. And now it is Slavkovsky with the puck in his own zone. Montreal giving up an early goal again here in Buffalo. They allowed that in Game 1 of this series, and now an even earlier goal here in Game 5 gets the Buffalo Sabres going and icing here on Montreal. Right now, Buffalo has put the pressure offensively. They've won every board battle, it seems like, after that goal, and they are feeling it right now here in game number 5 of this series. This was Quinn's opportunity. That deflected off of Zucker in front of the net. And off of Matheson, too. My voice gave out on that call. I don't know what happened there. Zucker back on the ice here. This line. Helenia Zucker. And Quinn out there. Samuelsson and Dahlin, the defensive pairings out there for the Sabres right now on the ice. Lanius around the boards, the rookie in his first playoff run with these Sabres. Texier off the boards, got ahead now for Anderson offside. Just the board battles along the boards. I think Tuck's stick, actually, that's why he's arguing about it, because I believe Hudson took Tuck's stick there on one of the last plays, and he was wondering why there was no call on that. Then Hudson just skated away like nothing. Unbelievable. Off the draw, one here by the Canadiens and Goalie. Tuck with 0 points in this series, though. He had 4 goals and 3 assists in the previous one against Boston. He has been dead quiet in this one. He could really use Alex Tuck to get going here in this series. Greenway got it into the middle now. Here's Benson carrying it back in. Schen's shot wide of the net. Round the boards it goes. Greenway into the corner. Behind the net now is Malenstein. McLeod tried to fire it around the boards. Couldn't. McLeod gets it again. Looking, sent it into the corner. Greenway, Goalie tied up along the wall. Here's Power now along the half wall. Lost the handle. And Newhook trying to force it out. He does. Spinning back here is Jackeye. We're about to be 6 minutes into this first period of Game 5 of this series, and the Sabres already striking first. Just 2 minutes exactly into this first period. Fired around the boards. Byram lost it along the boards. Slavkovsky trying to get there. Caulfield tied up. Slavkovsky won the puck battle. Suzuki touch pass here to the point. Here's Hudson with some room. He spins back. Hudson delays. Fires a shot. Save. Rebound. Stopped by Luukkonen. And they clear it out of the zone. Here's Doan to the loose puck. Tried to get it on the side, and he could not as the pass couldn't connect. Hudson moves it ahead now. Suzuki in the corner. Byram gets there first. He out-muscles him. Timmins gave it away. Slavkovsky. Suzuki waits. Shot deflected. Score! Caulfield off the turnover. And we're tied at 1. It was given away by the Buffalo Sabres, and that's Cole Caulfield's, I believe, first point or first goal. 5-on-5 in the playoffs. Suzuki as Slavkovsky stole that pass away. It was a breakout pass, and Cole Caulfield with an open net. No one covering him. 1-1. And the Casino de Montreal is going crazy. Goal in third straight game, 11th career postseason goal for Cole Caulfield. He's tied the game at 1 now. And a brand new feeling here in this Game 5. One of the sticks went flying up in the air after the faceoff was won by the Canadiens. Samuelsson and Dahlin forced along the boards now. Dock in behind the net now for Veleno on the backhand. Played that back to the point. Madison shot save. Rebound. Dock was stopped through the legs. It's in the crease. Played back to the line. Matheson. He fires. And a save by Luukkonen. Canadiens almost just took the lead right there. Unbelievable. It's 1-1. We'll be back here in Buffalo in Game 5. Back in Buffalo for Game 5. We got a 1-1 tie here. If you're just joining in with us, in our poll it reads 71% of y'all have voted. Well, now that's just changed because someone voted. I don't know who that was, but changed mid-sentence. 69%. Oh, that's nice. Canadiens with the advantage in the poll. 31% going to the Sabres in the poll. 29 votes. Continue to vote, everybody, throughout the stream. Share the stream around. 1-1. Just less than 7 minutes into this first period here in Game 5. 1-1 the score. Zucker and then Caulfield tying the game up just moments ago, and Montreal almost took the lead before we went to the media timeout. And the shots now read 8-2 in favor of the Canadiens. They're getting to their game now. A slow start, allowing the first goal, and they're back in it. Hudson plays it across. Long shot, save Luukkonen. Fourth of these playoffs for Cole Caulfield. Has tied this game up at 1. Slavkovsky and Suzuki with the assists. At top line for the Canadiens, striking there, and then Doc had it in between the legs of Luukkonen, and it popped free in the crease. Buildup was tied up and could never fire that puck home. And then Matheson through traffic. He got one through traffic in Game 2 from the blue line. That was close to the blue line, too. Cole Caulfield's back on the ice. This top line again is out there. Hudson from the blue line looking. Hudson shot deflected into the corner. First goal at even strength in 14 games for Cole Caulfield. It has been a while since he struck in 5-on-5 action. To the corner it goes. Benson tied up along the wall. Hudson pressuring him from behind. Played along the wall. Here's backhanded around by Byram. Benson in the corner once again, trying to spin through traffic. Benson got it to Norris. Spins back. They're just stuck in that corner right now. They look to center one. Played back for Power. Shot. That was blocked on the way through. Comes back for Doan. Power in his skates. Got it back to Doan. A one-timer. Scores! It is 2-1 in favor of the Sabres as Doan fires one to the one-timer. The third shot for the Sabres in this one. Benson, the play back here, Power. Doan had actually missed the chance for Power to wind up a one-timer, but it kind of worked because Doan got his one-timer. The pass from Power, and it's 2-1 in favor of the Buffalo Sabres. Getting outshot 9-3. We're not even 8 minutes in yet, and we've already had 3 goals here in this playoff game number 5. Played back to the line. Carrier shot deflected. Score! Texier ties it. Just seconds later. 2-2. Unbelievable. Deflects that from the side of the net. Unbelievable action here in Buffalo. The line by Carrier. The long shot. And Texier off his skate. No kicking motion there. Seconds later, the Canadiens respond and tie the game off the bounce off the skate. We're 2-2 now. And before I can even mention that the Sabres have scored 10 in the first 10 minutes of a period, or in this first period, or any period, Canadiens tie it up. Try to glove that one down. Mountainstein. We got a brand new hockey game again here. Anderson trying to flip it out to center. 2-2 here in Buffalo. Not even 9 minutes into this first period. That pass out of the reach. Demidov getting there first. Demidov spins back, plays that back shot. Wide of the net. With how everything's going here, it feels like anything's going to go into the net. Now a stretch pass out of the reach of Demidov. This will be an icing on Montreal. Josh Doan, his third of the playoffs. Made it 2-1 for just about not that much. Couple of seconds until Texier tied it, 5th career postseason goal. Unbelievable. The battle between Schenn and Texier actually worked out in the favor of Texier because he got pushed a little bit by Schenn, created the deflection off the skate. That shot was going well wide. And the skate, the deflection, 2-2. Unbelievable action here in Game 5. This doesn't feel like a playoff game with the scoring right now. There is no defense right now or any goaltending. Tage Thompson played back. Now Tuck has it on the backhand. Played it back to Thompson. Given away here. Almost held in. Now it's offside. Oh, what happened there? I think Tage Thompson made the play to get the puck back. Wow, and that's why he called offside. What a play by Tage Thompson, or else Demi Dove's going the other way. If you just joined us, you've missed a lot already here in game number 5. 2-2 is our score right now. Matheson plays that back, fired back in from center. Power will get it along the boards, tied up with Newhook. Power rides it around, not out of the zone. Shot blocked on the way through. The chance there from Evans. Byram, now Thompson. Clears it out to center. Texier is 3rd of these playoffs. Carrier and Deneau with the assists. Evans tied up from Tuck from behind. Matheson now carried it ahead now for Newhook. Cross the ice here, back in on side, and then the dump-in attempt. Samuelson gets there first for the Sabres. Only 3 shots for Buffalo in the game, and they've already scored twice here in this first period. Hudson has the puck as both teams going for a change here. Around the halfway point of the period. It's already 2-2 in a series that's tied at 2. Darlene almost forced off the puck there by Bolduc. Stretch pass out of the reach of Quinn. This will be an icing here on the Buffalo Sabres. 10-13 remaining here in this first period. Just unbelievable how this has just transpired here. Buffalo scoring 2 minutes in. Montreal tying it probably a minute or 2 later. Montreal Canadiens will win. Cole scored, and I think Jake Evans. Evans has not scored in this game. It has been, I believe it was Texier and Cole Caulfield. Doan and Zucker for the Sabres, the goal scorers. Shot from the line, save made off the pad of Luukkonen. Another point shot through traffic. Zucker played the pass. Helene's out of the reach. Fired back in from center. Luukkonen slows it down in behind his own net. Samuelson banked it off the backboards for Darlene. Samuelson on the other side carries it ahead. Samuelson into the middle. Hellenius shot, scores! 3-2 Sabres! And that was a bad one allowed up by Dovish. Unbelievable. 3-2. And I think maybe Dovish is going to get yanked out of Game 5. That was a very bad one. That one went to the 5-hole. Hellenius actually lost the handle, bobbled it, got it back to the 5-hole it went. And the Sabres, with only 4 shots on goal, have scored 3. They have the lead, and Dovish is still in the net. Unbelievable action here in Buffalo. 3-2 Sabres, 9:45 to go in the first. Unbelievable. The Sabres have scored 3 here in the opening period. A chaotic first period here in Game 5. Norris, there is no defense right now or goaltending. Slavkovsky will move it ahead. At this rate, we're going to have a 10-9 finish to Game 5. With this, maybe going overtime. That will just add on to the chaos. Norris got it ahead. Benson chipped it back in. Going for the puck now is Doan. Tied up there with the sticks there. You got to know, when we go to intermission, these two coaches are going to preach for some defense. Here's Cole Caulfield. Shot! And it missed wide! Suzuki, he almost just tied the game. Almost did it again. Matheson, to the corner it goes. Timmins off the glass, out to center. He is the youngest to record point in the playoff game in Sabres history. Hellenius The youngest was Pierre Turgeon in NHL history when he was 19 years old. To the corner goes Samuelsson, bouncing puck turnover. Texier's party in front of the net. Anderson along the boards. Anderson, the drop pass. No, he faked it. Anderson, drop pass there is turned over. Here is Greenway the other way, 2-on-2. Forced off from behind there. Greenway looking. As it's forced into the corner now. Fans want a penalty. They won't get it. Mounstein, Greenway, chipped it. And Anderson. And now, a centering pass from McLeod off his skate. McLeod still has the puck, though. He played that back into the line. Samuelsson shot! It got blocked on the way through. Sabre went down, no penalty. Greenway, the crowd incensed by that. Cleared out of the zone by the Canadiens. Here's Anderson on the break. Anderson, what a play, Samuelsson! Anderson arguing that there should have been a penalty, but there was none called. Here come the Sabres the other way. Tage Thompson poke checked away, but it's held in the zone, though. Dobson. And it's cleared out. No, Demidov played that back. Samuelsson and Dahlin with the assist on the Hellenius goal. His first in these Stanley Cup playoffs ever. His first career. Big hit in the corner there. Delivered by Shen. Thompson deflected. Knocked down. Krebs trying to get control of it. The shots are 10-5 in favor of the Canadiens, but they trail the game 3-2 in a chaotic 5-goal outburst here in the first period. Dahlin looking. Dahlin cross the ice, shot! Save Dobish! Newhook will dump it back in on the backhand. Oh, if that went in, I think he would have been gone out of this game, Jacob Dobish. Big save there to keep it a 1-goal game. Played back to the line, long shot, deflected wide. Played back in the corner as Timmins is tied up from behind by Bolduc, and it's cleared out to center. Hellenius is back here on the ice. He gets the puck now off the pass from Zucker. Zucker now on the dump in behind the net. Quinn in the corner. Tied up from behind by Veleno. Veleno tying it up still. Quinn, the drop pass to the point for Power. Power trying to maneuver his way through. Angled off there by Doc. Off the glass it goes, and it's cleared out to center while the Sabres are mixing the change. Unbelievable action in this number 5. Doan back in. Played that pass across Norris. And Matheson will clear it ahead. And it's out of the reach of Suzuki. Power. Tied up from behind. Now Benson will carry it ahead through the middle. Zach Benson got the pass. Doan into the middle. Backhand chance. Byram! Never got much of a backhand away there as he was tied up. Dobson crossed the ice, deflected back in. It is offside on the Canadiens with 5:43 to go in the first period. Unbelievable what we've seen here in Buffalo. Hellenius, youngest to record a point in the Sabres playoff history, will be back. It is 3-2 Sabres. Still with 5:43 to go in the first period. Unbelievable. We'll be back. I thought we were going to commercial. Lies. Anyway, Samuelsson has the puck now. Thought we were going to commercial, but we were not. Dahlin, now Thompson back in. Tage Thompson cross the ice, Tuck. Nice move there by Tuck in behind the net. Alex Tuck still on the backhand here. Tuck tried to throw it towards the puck. It is loose near the crease. They battle for it, and Slavkowski tried to clear it out of the zone, and he angles up Krebs, but they can't clear it. Thompson played it into the middle. Here's Krebs, the shot! And a save made. Dobish as it's blocking away. 4 fastest goals in playoffs since Capitals versus Rangers back in 2024. That was on April 21st of 24. Quinn will move it ahead. Got the pass across, tried to at least. Back in onside here. Zucker trying to drive towards the net. Zucker trying to bank it in. Save made. Dobish on a backhand opportunity in front of the net. 4:37 to go in the first. Series tied at 2, and now I believe we'll go to commercial. Zucker and Matheson with the stare downs. The Buffalo crowd loving it. 3-2, and Dobish saying some words to Zucker after the whistle. It is getting intense in Buffalo in this game number 5. We will be back. Game 5 of this series is chaos, to say the least, here in this game number 5. We welcome you back in, everybody. If you're just joining with us, I know you've probably seen what is happening here in this game and in this first period. You gotta know the coaches are probably preaching after this first period ends to play some defense in the second period, because right now, 5 goals in 15 and a half minutes here in the first. Fastest goals in a playoff game since 2 years ago. Capitals Rangers on April 21st. And now this game has had a lot here in the first. In this crucial game number 5, whoever wins this game will have a 3-2 series lead and a chance to eliminate one of their opponents and move on to the conference finals to meet the Carolina Hurricanes. For the Hurricanes, they're just saying, get this to 7 so we can have as much rest as we want. You can have as much as 10 to 12 days of rest. The Hurricanes. It has just been a chaotic first period. Sabres scored first, then Caulfield tied it, then Doan off a one-timer. 2-1 Sabres. Seconds later, Texier off a skate and end and no kicking motion ties the game. And then right now, Elenius has made it a 3-2 Sabres lead. 4:37 to go here in the first period. McLeod and Evans in the face-off dot here in the Canadian zone. McLeod wins the draw. Play back to the line, Byram. Malenstein shot fired wide. Newhook will move it ahead. Back in on side, and it's blocked away. McLeod will move it ahead to Greenway. Greenway in the middle. Forced out of the zone. Played back out to center. Power plays across the ice. Dumped back in here by the Sabres. Going back for it is Gooley. Got the puck over the glass there and deflected. And now it's Demidov. Jack-Eye now will move it ahead. In the Sabres territory. To the corner, Byram. Tied up. Bouncing puck came into the middle. Stolen away here by Greenway. A stick fell there, and it's Bolduc, I believe. In behind is Dobish. 11-7, the shots favoring the Canadiens. Almost put into his own net by Jack-Eye. Unbelievable. It went off the side, and I think it hit the pad of Dobish. That banked in the wrong way. That's probably 4-2 Buffalo. In the middle, shot. Luukkonen from the boards was stopped. 3:28 to go in the opening period of Game 5. Chaos here in Buffalo. 5 goals in the opening period. We will be back again in just a moment. Unbelievable action we're seeing here in Buffalo for Game 5. 3-2, the Sabres leading it. Hellenius the difference maker, but I don't think that even matters right now because it is just... This first period is just... is on something right now because no lead is safe in this first period. And even though the Sabres have the lead, they've had the lead 3 times in this period. 2 of them have been blown. Right now, the third time they've had the lead, they have it right now. Montreal has not had the lead. They've tied it twice here already in this opening period, and they're trailing now 3-2. Across the ice here as it's played in the middle and lost there, and Suzuki played that back here. Demidov. And now it's Hudson. Try to move it ahead. And played back in Samuelson. And it's cleared out to center. Deflected into the bench, out of play. 2:54 left to go here in the first period. Welcome you in if just joined us. Our poll right now reads 70% in favor of the Canadiens, 30 to the Sabres right now. So I know probably people saw what was happening and decided to join us, and we're glad you did. Tune in for more. Our intermission report coming up next in just a moment after this first period ends. A chaotic first period. We have a lot of things to talk about in the first period. A lot of subjects around the National Hockey League happening. The Sedins are back. The Canucks hired them. And Chris Knobloch's future in Edmonton and his job is gone as he got fired just yesterday, I believe. Deflected back into the corner. Power will go back for all will be discussed in their first intermission, including the 5 goals that have been scored here in the first period, and at this point, it could be 2 more, because this first period has been on something. Tage Thompson took a man down in the corner. Byram in behind the net now. Byram looking, played back here. Krebs from the line, fires a shot that got blocked. Byram holds it in. Byram out muscles. Got the pass to Krebs along the half wall. Spins back. That pass for Tuck out of the reach, and Anderson intercepts. Carrier backhands that one back in from the blue line. And both teams will go for changes here with 2 minutes to go here in the first period. Deflected back in here by Hellenius into the corner. Hudson will get it now in behind his own net. Gooley now. Got it ahead. Demidov back in on side. To the corner it goes. Timmins tied up with Demidov. Evans trying to win the puck battle. Newhook tried to steal it away. Hellenius got the flip pass here. And here's Quinn the other way. 3-on-2. Zucker back in. Got it to Quinn. Tried to get that cross-ice feed. Was blocked away by Gooley. Quinn played it deep. Here's Darlene. Stolen away almost by Evans. Returned here to the Sabres. They have the puck still. Quinn trying to make a nice move, and it got blocked away, but Darlene steals it right back. Quinn looking. Quinn, high slot, drop pass, Timmins, waiting, shot, blocked by Evans. Unbelievable. Darlene, what a play by Gooley. A minute remaining here in the first period. A chaotic one. Power deflected it off the glove. To the corner it goes. Malenstein tied up with Veleno. They fight for it still. 47 to go in the period. Played back here to the line. Power. Cross it goes. Long shot. Deflected. Save. Dobish. Dobson around the boards. Matheson. Tied up along the wall and then got the pass here to Dobson. And forced back offside. 31.4 to go on the Sabres. Game 5 of this series. Chaotic already here in the first period. Dobish has made some big saves, even though at some points he has let up some goals that have been questionable here. And especially that Hellenius one. 3 goals allowed on 8 shots by Dobish. 2 goals allowed by Luukkonen on 11 shots. No goalies making any saves here in this first period. And with 31.4 to go, you got to know both the coaches are going to preach for some defense and some goaltending in the second period. 7th rookie goalie, franchise history with 10-plus starts in the postseason. These 2026 playoffs for Dobish. Samuelson around the boards with 15 to go in the period. Dobson, Caulfield tried to chip it out, couldn't. Doan's long shot was blocked on the way through by Hudson. Out to center it goes. Savkowski trying to move it ahead. 8 seconds to go in the period. Here is Suzuki back in, and the time remaining in the shot. Samuelson blocked it. And that will do it for the first period. A 3-2 lead for the Sabres. Savkowski going down after the whistle. And a tie-up along the glass now. For a moment with Dobson and Benson looking at each other. Samuelson wanted to get into the mix, but that will conclude this first period. A chaotic one. Unbelievable action here in game number 5 of this series. Probably the most entertaining period of this series, honestly. Game 5 has delivered already in 1 period. The Sabres, with a 3-2 lead, will go over all of that and more when we come back with our intermission report coming up next year on the NHL on MHS. We welcome you to our intermission report here on the NHL on MHS. We're glad to have you with us here on our coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Our score after one, 3-2 in favor of the Buffalo Sabres. Let's go over the goals, everybody, while we're at it. We can't show the goals, obviously, but we have the best next thing, I guess, the goal visualizer off the NHL.com. 3-2, the Sabres leading it. The shots were 11-9 in favor of Montreal, but they are trailing in the game 3-2. Let's go over the goals. Zucker, 2 minutes in to this first period. Quinn just having the puck for a long time. Timmins just moving it around. Quinn's the shot. Deflects off of Zucker, and it deflected off the back of the skate of Matheson, who was battling in front. They have the 1-0 lead. Zucker, his first playoff goal of these playoffs. And then 4.5 minutes later, basically, a bad giveaway here by Norris. The bad pass by, I believe, that was Timmins. Savkowski stole it away. Caulfield got the backdoor feed from Suzuki, tied at 1. Then, 1:14 later, cycle here by the Sabres as another board battle win. They could never clear the puck, the Canadiens, and Doan fires a one-timer that goes through and past Dobish. And then, 9 seconds later, Texier off the face-off from the Buffalo goal. Canadiens dump it in. Danault played that to the line, Carrier, and then it deflects off the skate of Texier. No kicking motion, though. 2-2, Carrier and Danault with the assists at 7:54. And then, I know, it's like repeat. Just less than 3 minutes later, actually. Hellenius in the high slot. The thing is here, he lost the handle of the puck here in the middle. This pass here by Samuelson was out of the reach. He got it back, and then somehow he fires it back, and it got through the 5-hole of Dobish. I think with him bobbling the puck there, it really messed up where Dobish was reading his shot. Samuelson and Dahlin with the assists at 10:15, and the Sabres have the lead. All the scoring in the first half of this first period. We had nothing afterwards. But a very entertaining first, and I'm going to need some water here in this intermission when I go to another break. Because unbelievable what we saw there in that opening period of this game number 5. I mean, it's just been pure chaos here in Buffalo, and unbelievable. The stats here after the first period, 11-9, obviously the shots on goal. Go back to the stats right now, actually. The face-offs, 61% of them have gone to the Canadiens. 10-7, the hits favoring the Canadiens. Giveaways are even at 5. Block shots 6-4. Takeaways are 2-2. And this series is tied at 2. And at one moment in this game, the game was tied at 2. Right now, it's a 3-2 lead for the Sabres. As the Buffalo started off strong, Canadiens got some momentum back, and then Buffalo finding some holes in Dobish, as he has not played the best first period of this playoffs. This might have been his worst period of the Stanley Cup playoffs this year for Jacob Dobish, which is saying something in a crucial moment. Obviously for the Canadiens, they want to take a 3-2 series lead back to the Bell Center, obviously feeling like they should have won Game 4 as well at home. But Buffalo with the win, and they have the lead here even though they're out shooting them again. It's just frustration here maybe for the Canadiens, just knowing you're playing good. But it's just not enough because Buffalo either is getting bounces or just taking advantage of their opportunities. Game 4, they took advantage of their power plays. Right now, they're taking advantage of a weird Dobish right now because he is not playing to the capabilities we have seen here in this series for Jacob Dobish. We'll be back in just a moment as I get a water break because I need one. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll go over Chris Knoblauch's firing and the Sedins back in the Vancouver Canucks organization. We'll be back, everybody. Well, I got my water break, and we're back here on the intermission break. In this intermission report, 3-2, the Sabres leading it here in game number 5. So, the news obviously coming yesterday, I believe. Chris Knobloch fired from his position as the head coach of the Edmonton Oilers. We did see a day before he got fired, Bruce Cassidy Edmonton, I believe, wanted to get an interview with Bruce Cassidy, but Vegas denied it because even though he got fired from Vegas, they still have him for another year under a contract, so they denied permission of him to talk with the Edmonton Oilers, and obviously a division rival for them, so they obviously didn't want that, obviously, on their hands, and so Chris Knobloch fired, no replacement just named just yet. So Edmonton, the coaches that have sent them to the last 2 finals before this year, he is fired, and the Edmonton Oilers looking for another coach, and obviously McDavid, and last year of his contract coming up. It seems like they have to, it seems like that it's every year, but they have to go for the cup or it's a bust, and maybe it might be a bust and losing McDavid as well for them, and that's the situation that they got in Edmonton right now. And the Sedins are back, I believe. Let's see, because I want to double check on this, because I didn't see the Sedins come back. I just didn't. I think it was like the co-presidents, I think. Let's see. I'm going to see real quick. They're running the Canucks, though, and they have just named their general manager to the Vancouver Canucks. So we're going to pull this up right now, and the franchise icon Sedins, they'll be co-presidents of hockey operations for the team. And the new GM has obviously, Jim Rutherford got fired or got promoted up, I believe, and so now they got Johnson to be the GM. He was the assistant GM, and now he is taking over here. And the Canucks having Sedin's back in the franchise, and now they have Johnson as their as their general manager. I don't know why the words just did not come up to me there. It did not there. And the Sedins are back in the Vancouver Canucks organization as co-presidents. And so they're back in the organization. We'll go over more, obviously more details, as obviously we have a big game to preview. Obviously the Ducks and the Golden Knights. Can the Golden Knights move on to the conference final for the first time since 2023 when they won the Cup the whole year? Or will Anaheim at home force a Game 7? That will be the question. We'll go over that in our second intermission report. Stay tuned for that. Second period about to start here in Buffalo. 3-2, the Sabres leading it after 20 minutes of play. We'll be back with the second period coming up next. Game 5 between the Buffalo Sabres and the Montreal Canadiens, brought to you by coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs here on the NHL on MHS. Welcome you back into the second period here in Buffalo, New York. Game 5 of this series at the KeyBank Center. A 3-2 lead for the Buffalo Sabres, the home side, with the advantage. They've had 3 leads here in this game, and this is the one that's held up for the longest here in this one. And second period, obviously Montreal and the Buffalo Sabres want to play a better defensive game than they did in that first period, because it was just not pretty with how many stuff was being let in that one. Every goal, every chance was going in. Let's read our chat here with Barry. Sabres all the way through the Stanley Cup. There is no question in my empty melon. I call my head. This is the year of the Sabres. Well earned too. If anyone deserves it, they do. Go Sabres. And then he said nobody. I didn't see that chat until he came back. That's why I came back. I want to read Barry's chat here. In our live chat, continue to chat, everybody. Our votes right now in favor of the Canadiens, 73%. It's 27 because obviously continuing to vote here, and it continues to change, and almost at 100 votes right now. Just 4 away from 100 votes. As of the moment, we welcome you back in here to Buffalo for Game 5 of this series. Second period about to start in just a couple of moments. KeyBank Center. Game 5. Whoever wins this game has a 3-2 series lead and is a win away from the conference finals to meet the Carolina Hurricanes. We'll talk about the schedule, actually, because the NHL just released the schedule regarding this series, whether it ends in 6 or 7 games. There's 2 alternative schedules, and now we know the schedule for the Colorado and either Vegas or Anaheim conference final series that will take place, I believe, on Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. So a lot of stuff to look forward to. Assist by defensemen tonight for the Sabres. Dahlin, Power, Samuelson, and Timmins already with 1 assist. And the We Believe signs out here for the Sabres in the crowd. We're underway here in the second period. Offside the Canadiens just 5 seconds in. We have not had any penalties here. We had not had any penalties in this first period. It was a complete opposite in the last game where we had a bunch of power plays for each side. The majority of them going to the Canadiens, though. 11-9, the shots favoring Montreal here in this Game 5. Off the draw, one here by the Canadiens. Matheson fires it back in from the red line. Banked off the boards, Anderson in behind. Dahlin tidying up. Deneau got taken down. You could argue that was a hook. 10th fastest 5 goals by both teams in a playoff game, combined for 5 goals in the opening 10-15. That's the Sabres and the Canadiens. Unbelievable history here in Buffalo with that. Back in onside, no. Thought they had held the line. Anderson with the skate and the stretch. Did not work out for them. Offside 31 seconds into the second period. And you got to know, they do not want to have a repeat of the first period. Though both of these teams, if you're Buffalo, lock it down. If you're Montreal, push for the tying goal. But just, they do not want a repeat of that first period. Even though it is fun to watch, it is not sustainable. And, yeah, it's not going to be sustainable in this one. Especially how big the circumstances are in this one. How big this game is for both teams. Dobish still in his net after allowing 3 goals on 4 shots in the first at one point. Now 3 goals on 9 shots here in the game. All those shots are recorded in the first period. Benson back in on side. Zach Benson looking. Scored on his birthday in the last game. In Game 4, around the boards, out of the reach of Donan behind the net. Deneau tried to move it ahead, and the stretch pass failed to connect. And an icing here on the Canadiens, a minute and 10 in. Just 1 vote away from our 100 vote on our poll here on the MHS Network. We're glad you have tuned in with us. We'll give you conference final action. And if there's a Game 7 on Saturday, hopefully we'll give you coverage of that with the Ducks and the Golden Knights. If not, Game 6 of this series will happen. Either the Sabres or the Canadiens have a 3-2 series lead. Let's see who closes it out. Off the draw, Hudson has the puck off the face-off win by the Canadiens. Stolen away by Veleno back in onside. The drop pass here, Caulfield. Caulfield shot, save made, Luukkonen. The shot from the boards. And the faceoff's in favor of the Canadiens, 15-7 right now in the hockey game. And that's the first shot on goal here in this second period, coming off the stick of Cole Caulfield, who had not had an even strength goal in 10-plus games coming into this one. And finally, he got one to tie the game at 1 back in that first period. On the second of 5 goals that were scored in that opening period. Off the face-off, the tie-up, they continue to battle for it. Darlene gets it free, plays it off the boards out to center ice, chipped it ahead Mallenstein, fired back in by McLeod. Around the boards it goes. And it's turned over almost to McLeod off the pass from Gooley. Played back, Darlene forced a turnover into the middle, shot, Mallenstein blocked in front of the net, a chance right in front. Newhook moved it ahead, Demidov, Evans. And that one's intercepted by Darlene. Trying to clear it out, couldn't, was Greenway. That pass in the middle, in between the skates of Demidov, was intended for Evans, and it was never connected. Greenway forced it out to center, bouncing puck knocked down by Mallenstein, who steals it away. To the corner it goes. McLeod on the opposite side has it on the backhand. Plays it around in behind the net now for Greenway. Tied up from behind there by Carrier. Greenway tied up with his stick here. Mallenstein played back to the line. Here's Samuelson. Shot! Save made, Dobish. And a little bit of pushing and shoving after the whistle. Carrier and Greenway in front of Dobish's crease. That's the first Buffalo shot of this second period. Goalies have made some great defensive plays. A big block here on Timmins late in the first, and then this one on Mallenstein just on the previous play. Game 5 of this series, conference finals coming up soon. We could potentially see Vegas moving on tonight, or we'll see a Game 7 on Saturday for them. Preview that in our second intermission. And in this series, Game 7, if necessary, obviously in this series, we know there's going to be a Game 6. Game 7 would be here in Buffalo on a Monday, I believe. That would be something to watch, a Game 7 here in Buffalo. Along the boards, Benson played that back to the line. Samuelson shot, and it missed wide. Norris at the point, holds it in. Doan around the boards, knocked down, forced off. Byram lost his glove, or Caulfield lost his glove. Matheson, now Hudson almost turned it over there. Benson tried to force a turnover, played back. Doan across, one-timer fanned on there. And Benson got it for Norris. Doan in the middle, knocked down Doan. And it's Norris with the shot that was fanned. Doan, another shot wide of the net. Played to the point. Held in by Samuelson. Benson around for Doan. Doan along the half wall. Played it to Benson in the corner. Zach Benson has the puck. Centering pass bounced in front. Shot wide of the net. Norris had the opportunity. Alex Tuck. Samuelson fires it around. Benson trying to get it free. Shot! Save! Norris denied by Dobish on a one-time bid. Pressure right now. Shot blocked on the way through, and the Canadiens can't clear it. Tuck holds it in along the boards. Slavkovsky pressure from behind, and Caulfield has the puck. He'll play it across, and Hudson finally flips it out to center ice. Some tired Canadiens on the ice right now, and a breakaway for Thompson! And a save, Dobish! What a save! Unbelievable. Got him with the pad. Thompson tried to outweight him, but Dobish outweighted him. Tage Thompson on a clear-cut one-on-one, denied with the pad as he tried to outbeat Dobish. Just delaying, and he got it with the pad. Oh, mercy. What a chance for Tage Thompson. Goal and an assist in the last 2 games for Thompson. In this series, he had a frustrating Game 2. He has bounced back from that Game 2 performance, and he almost gave the Sabres a 4-2 lead here in this one. Look back at that if the Canadiens come back to tie this game, and you'll look at that as one of the changing moments in this game. Dobson going back for the puck here as Krebs ties him about locking the wall. Here's Thompson in behind the net. Thompson brings it towards the front. Thompson still has the puck and played it across. Tuck. That pass out of the reach and now race for it. Anderson trying to get there. Anderson will get there first. To the corner it goes. And Thompson has it in his own corner. Trying to clear it out of the zone. Spins back. Plays that. And out of the zone by the Sabres. Deneau. And a turnover almost, and recovered here by Texier. Plays that Jack Eye, and Carrier will move it ahead. Fired back in from the red line. Around the boards it goes. Timmins in behind. Off the glass, hit the netting. Out of play. Deflected, so no delay of game. 4:56 has passed here in the second period. That was a chance there from Norris, and Tuck was right there in front of the net. 10 saves on 13 shots faced tonight. He allowed 3 goals on the first 4 shots. Ever since then, he's been perfect. (3-2). Buffalo leading it here in Game 5. Second period here in Buffalo. Off the draw, the series is tied at 2. Bounced in front of the net. Darlene cleared it away, and Mallenstein out to center. Hudson going back for it. Shots are 4-1 in favor of the Sabres here in the period. Newhook fires it in. Darlene gets there first. Backhands that one out to center. And nothing going for the Canadiens right now in this second period. And a lot of chances for the Sabres and a lot of O-zone possession, and they've controlled the puck well here in this Game 5. Dobson fires it back in. He'll go for a change as it's along the wall here for Demidov, who steals it away. In behind the net now for Evans. Played back to the line. Matheson holds it in. He got pressured off the puck. Out to center. Tried to at least. And Greenway played it back into his own zone and cleared it out to center ice. Carrier now gave it away. McLeod fresh off the bench comes Doan. Doan in. Doan shot. Blocked on the way through by Carrier. To the corner it goes. Matheson in behind his own net. Carrier played it into the middle now for Evans. And it's cleared ahead now. Knocked down by Slavkovsky. And now cleared out to center. Now it is Doan. 3-on-2. Norris in the middle. Shot! Fired wide of the net. Hit the glass instead. Over the crossbar it went. Suzuki stolen away. Here comes Benson the other way. Another 3-on-2. Benson holds. Waits for reinforcements. Played it into the corner. Quinn tied up along the wall. Quinn. Buffalo playing well here in the second period. Quinn, another nice move. Quinn looking. Trying to go a wraparound attempt. Shot blocked on the way through. Chance there in front of the net. Into the middle. Quinn! Shot blocked on the way through again. Here's Quinn once again. Got the pass. Hellenis looking. Played it back. Here's Quinn. High slot. Lost it. And not out of the zone just. It is held in. Down low. The pass couldn't go for Zucker. The other way come the Canadiens back in on side. Slavkovsky along the wall. Dobson in the corner. Hellenis now to the loose puck. He'll skated it ahead through the middle. Got the pass now for Power. Back into the zone. Owen Power looking. He waits. Fires a shot from the blue line wide of the net. And the other way comes Gooley. Trying to force it out. Deflected ahead. 2-on-1. Back in on side. Nice move. Backhand. Wide of the net by Veleno. Chance there to tie the game. Unbelievable. Veleno played back to the line. An effort move there to get it back to the point. Bolduc around the boards. Buffalo will ice this puck. 12:05 to go in the second period here in game number 5. The score still unchanged with a 3-2 lead here for Buffalo. Valeno almost made a nice goal right there, and he just missed it on the backhand. Unbelievable move. This was Norris's chance to just fired. I believe that deflected off the stick of Carrier. And then Quinn tried to center one right here, and big saves on Norris. Face-off one here by the Canadiens, driving to the net, centering pass, score! Anderson ties it, 3-3. Wide open net there for Anderson. What a driving play here by, I believe it was Hudson. And Anderson with a wide open cage. Now they're going to argue maybe Deneau was in the crease interference. No, that's no goalie interference. Maybe. They might look at that. Anderson 3-3. A little bit of delay here. Maybe they do want to look at this. Because you could argue, now the challenge, maybe, about to happen. Are they going to challenge this? Would you want to challenge this? Because there was a Sabre tying him up in front of the net. They won't challenge. Lindy Ruff will not challenge, and this game is tied at 3. Anderson, with his third of the playoffs, has tied this game up at 3 in a wild Game 5 here. 3-3 here in Buffalo. Now moved ahead, back in onside is Anderson once again. In behind the net now. On the backhand, played that back to the line. Carey fired it around the boards in behind. To the corner. It goes. It's played back to the line once again for Carey. Round the boards here. Deneau. Texas parked in front. And Krebs intercepted the pass before it could get to him. Now Deneau looks to center one and a save. Deflected wide. Thompson trying to clear it out. Got it out of the zone. Will this be another icing? No, not enough. Goalie will look to move it ahead through the middle. Back in onside. Demidov across. Demidov! Save made Luukkonen! What a chance there. Demidov looking. Spins around. Demidov. Another nice move. High slot. Played that pass. And Newhook fan on the shot. Buffalo trying to clear it, and they will out to center. Tuck trying to regather the puck here. Dobson will move it ahead, back in onside. The drop pass here for Newhook. Evans looking in front, deflected wide. Matheson. Now Newhook in behind the net. A drop stick here as Demidov played it around. Demidov again, shot wide of the net. Greenway clears it out to center. A bouncing puck came right to Buffalo. Here's McLeod in onside. McLeod forced off by Matheson. What a play. Cleared out of the zone by the Canadiens. 3-3 here in Buffalo in Game 5, halfway through the second period. Regathered here by Samuelson. Off the boards and out to center, deflected, so no icing on Buffalo. Jackeye forced off by Malenstein. What a hit in the corner by Malenstein. Now the other way, that will be an icing on Buffalo once again. 9:43 to go. We'll be back. No, we're not. We're not going to go to break. I thought we were. We had a commercial break in a little bit here. This chance by Demidov might actually glanced off the glove of Luukkonen. And I think this Demidov, that was a blocker save there by Luukkonen, who has been big after that goal tied it up for the Canadiens. Josh Anderson. Demidov 4 assists, 3 in this series against Buffalo. Shen lost it in behind the net. Caulfield got it to Suzuki in the corner. Suzuki battling there with Norris. Caulfield, now Slavkovsky. Caulfield plays that back to the line. Hudson across. One-timer by Dobson wide. Caulfield trying to regather it. It is poked out to center by Benson. Hudson gets there first. He'll clear it out to center. As they're back in onside, Caulfield's wide open. Caulfield trying to get it, and it missed wide. Slavkovsky passed that puck to Caulfield. Hudson flips a pass across here for Dobson. Plays it into the middle. Suzuki shot. Blocked in front. Backhand stopped. Slavkovsky with the opportunity right in front of the net as he was battling. Dobson. Now Suzuki fires it back in from center. 9 minutes left to go here in the second period. In the corner. Tying up along the wall. Bolduc and Samuelson. Norris tied up into the middle. Shot. Dock wide. And out of play it went. 8:45 to go. Josh Anderson with a wide open net with a great play by Hudson. We are tied at 3 in Game 5. Three here in Buffalo. 8:45 to go. 4 points from a defenseman tonight for the Sabres. But Josh Anderson's just tied this game up on a wide open feed. He was wide open with the empty net there, basically. And it is 3-3 with 8:45 to go here in the second period. More than halfway through this one. And a 3-3 tie here in an important Game 5. To the corner it goes. It's forced off there by Kirby Dach. They battle for it. Helenus plays it in the middle. Helenus has the puck. Got it to Zucker. Zucker looking. Tried to play that back and couldn't. Here comes Kirby Dach 2-on-2. Dumped it back in, or tried to at least. It was blocked away, and it's offside on the Canadiens. A late hit afterwards. 8:23 to go. No penalty so far in this game. Not even 4-on-4, nothing. It has been nothing with special teams involved in the mix. It has just been 5-on-5 hockey throughout the whole night. And nothing has swayed that with any man advantages or 4-on-4s or anything like that. 8:23 to go in the middle frame of Game 5 of this series. Game 6 will be on Saturday. If the Game 7 is necessary, it will be on Monday. And that should be a pleasure to watch. And then the conference final starting next week here. Either Tuesday or Wednesday. Depends on how this series goes. We do know Wednesday is the start for the Colorado, Vegas, or Anaheim series. A weird bounce off the glass. Tuck trying to clear it out, forced off by Newick in the corner. And now Thompson will look to carry it ahead. Tage Thompson got the pass here for Byram on side. Bowen Byram fires a shot that got blocked. Krebs now looking, plays that back, Tuck deflected out the center. Timmins plays that puck here for Byram, trying to clear it. It's held in the zone though in the corner. It's taken away here by Evans. Evans plays that back, carry it, backhand pass. What a save! Luukkonen with his best save of the night. on Demidov. Unbelievable. Robbing him of the first chance for a Montreal lead. Unbelievable. Carrier to Demidov. UPL denies him. Game 5 has been a classic so far, and we'll be back in just a moment. Unbelievable. Back in Buffalo, everybody, it's a 3-3 tie here with 7:42 to go in the second period. Only been one goal in this second, and it was the tying goal by Anderson. Could have been 2 now for the Canadiens. That one looked like the bounce that Tage Thompson got in Game 4 off the stanchion, but just went off the side of the net instead of banking it off the pads of Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. 7:42 left to go in the second period. 19-12, the faceoffs won by the Canadiens, and they win another one. Here's Hudson now with some room. Hudson looking across the ice, pass, shot blocked, Danault shot, wide of the net. Now Hudson. Hudson spins back at the point. Quinn across from Hudson as the pass got to Anderson's shot. That was blocked on the way through. Broken stick now as it's carried ahead by Dobson. Got the pass now, the shot deflected and a save made. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. 7:12 to go in the second period. Series tied 2-2 here in this one. What a pass by Dobson. Anderson's shot blocked by Samuelsson. Then Danault, who barely getting a piece of that was Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. 3-3 here in Game 5. This unbelievable action we've seen here in this game number 5, and this series has not disappointed yet. Off the draw, Slafkovsky played that back here to the line, and there's a whistle here with 7:09 to go, and I believe we're getting a penalty here. First of the night.
Montreal 22 minutes high sticking.
Slafkovsky going to the box, and the Sabres are going to the power play. A high sticking call was made off that faceoff. Oh, wow. That is a terrible call. That is a terrible call. Unbelievable. The referees called that to be the first penalty. That was a touch penalty right there. Wow. Unbelievable. Anyways, the Sabres on the power play. Let's ignore that. Benson, Doan, Thompson, Quinn, and Dahlin out there on this power play unit to try to get going. Around the boards, Canadiens fire down the length of the ice. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen plays it. 2 for 4 in Game 4. The Sabres, in this postseason, they're 31.2% effectiveness, 68.8% the penalty kill for the Canadiens. Deflected back in. Around the boards it goes from Thompson. Doan Now Thompson trying to get there. Doan in behind the net now. Matheson intercepts the pass, and it's cleared down the length of the ice by the Canadiens. Nothing going here for the Sabres on this power play, as Darlene looks to carry it ahead. He got the pass here from McLeod along the boards. Quinn. McLeod, bounce into the middle. Doan. Around the boards it goes once again. Thompson on the backhand. Thompson in the corner. Plays that to the point. Here is Quinn. Got it. Thompson. Circle. Quinn. Played back Darlene. Thompson once again with 50 seconds to go on the power play. Darlene looking. Got it back to Thompson on the perimeter here of the Sabres. Thompson down low. Quinn with some room. In front. Deflected wide. Darlene looking from the blue line. Got the pass here. Shot down low. Benson on the backhand forces the forehand. Benson backdoor was stopped. Here's Thompson. Played back Darlene. One-timer by Thompson was blocked by Anderson, and it's cleared. What a play there by Josh Anderson to block that one-timing blistering shot by Tage Thompson. Unbelievable play there. Darlene. Drop pass. Back in on side is McLeod getting through. Shot. Save! And it's cleared. And the power play's over. 0 for 1 on the night. The first opportunity of this game for either teams. With 5 minutes left to go here in the second period. Still 3-3. McLeod. Power in on side. Power shot wide of the net on the glove side of Dobish. Zucker around the boards. Only a shot on goal on that power play for the Sabres. Hudson. Power intercepts along the wall. Power into the middle. Zucker the shot. Save Dobish. 4:40 to go in the second period. Here in Game 5, everyone getting some stare downs. Just chaos. What a chance there. Backdoor off the skate instead of the stick for Benson. Or else it would have been 4-3 Buffalo potentially. We'll be back in just a moment. 3-3 in Buffalo. We'll be back. Now our chat's waking up is just Habs fans now. They're taking over. Daxton and Candace in our chat going for the Canadiens. With 4:40 to go in the second period, it is a 3-3 game. If you just joined us, Game 5 of this series. Benson along the wall, played back to Byram. Byram back for Benson once again. Fires through traffic. It was blocked on the way through. He gets it back. Benson trying to shift his way through. Shot again was blocked on the way through. Again, it was from Deneau who blocked both of those shots by Benson. Norris fired it in behind the net now. Tied up Doan. And Slavkovsky tied up along the wall here. Bouncing puck. Slavkovsky gloves it down to himself. And he played it here for Suzuki. Got it across the ice, or tried to at least. Caulfield drop pass. Goalie fires it back in. Power now has the puck. Norris and Suzuki were exchanging some slashes there. Well, that puck was moved ahead. Deflected back in. Here it comes. Demidov shot! And a save. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. A score! It snuck past Luukkonen. And Evans has given Montreal their first lead of Game 5. Wow. And that's a bad one there by Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. It's either Demidov's or Evans' goal. I think that is Evans' goal. Unbelievable. And with 3:45 to go, the Canadiens have their first lead of the game off a goal that, yikes. That's a bad one. And that's why they pulled Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen in the first round. And at the worst moment for the Sabres, he allows that to go in, and it's 4-3 Montreal here in Game 5. Unbelievable. They've scored 2 here in the second period. Samuelsson back in onside, looking to tie it. Drop pass. Krebs couldn't get it. Flipped out to center. Texier racing for the puck here, trying to go on a break. Goes into the corner instead. Texier in the corner. Tied up along the wall. Samuelsson and Demidov, and deflected in behind Demidov looking. Demidov flips the pass back here for Evans. Played back Matheson. He looks. Got it to Evans once again. Evans played back Carrier to the corner, along the wall. Fans want a penalty on something that happened, and there's a penalty on the Sabres instead. And it's going against Tage Thompson. A cross-checking and a
for the first time
play
tonight
for the Montreal Canadiens.
Buffalo 72, 2 minutes cross-checking.
That is a bad penalty to take just after a minute. After they just allowed the goal to give Montreal the lead. Now the Canadiens have a power play to establish a 2-goal lead. Yep, that is a cross-check. There is no need for that by Thompson. You got to be smarter. And you got to know Tage Thompson has been frustrated this entire series with the Canadiens, and it shows right there. So a power play for the Canadiens. In the corner it goes. Savkovsky tied up along the wall. Savkovsky got it free. Centering pass. Suzuki scores! Nick Suzuki! Power play goal! 5-3 Canadiens! And they make quick work on that power play. Nick Suzuki. And the Canadiens have just turned around this game. His 4th goal of these playoffs. Savkovsky from the boards. Broken play. Powers trying to clear it. He got the stick there, and then to the 5-0 Luukkonen. Sneaks through again. 2 bad ones by Luukkonen. And the Montreal Canadiens have a 2-goal lead here in Game 5. Shot from Carrier was stopped. Shen clears it, deflected ahead. Unbelievable what we're seeing here in Buffalo. A 3-2 Sabres lead has now turned to a 5-3 Montreal lead. Carrier got the pass. Matheson will fire it back in. Round the boards, Power. Backhands it around. And now this quiet crowd here in KeyBank Center is worrying, because now the Sabres are going to have to come back from a 2-goal deficit. Hellenis plays it. Hellenis trying to get that pass back, and he does. In the corner it goes. Sabres could really use one here at the end of the period. Here's a 2-on-2 the other way. Suzuki back in on the rush. Suzuki in, looking. Suzuki fires a shot well wide of the net. Goes for Caulfield. Savkovsky deflects it around. Byram. Now Suzuki. Caulfield deflected. This top line has been magic right now in this Game 5. They have produced a lot here for the Canadiens here in this game number 5 of this series. Tuck is back into the zone. That cross-the-ice pass is blocked away. Darlene will go over the 3 goals that the Canadiens have had here in this second period. They have a 5-3 lead here in Game 5. Norris fires, blocked on the way through. And the Canadiens look to move it ahead the other way. Goalie clears it ahead, and now going for the puck. It's going to be an icing. No, it went on goal on Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Was not played his best. Dolich has robbed the Sabres of a 2-goal lead and now has come back to bite them, not burying those opportunities. Shen along the wall. Tied up with Newhook. 35 seconds to go here in the period. Benson fell down as Newhook took him down. Played around in the circle. Newhook will carry it ahead. Tried to at least, and he does. And now Suzuki will carry it ahead through the middle. Back in. Flip pass here. Demidov across the ice. Newhook could never get the shot away. 13 seconds to go in the period. Power circles back. Buffalo could really use one here at the end of the period. They're not going to get one, though. Yeah, it's Carey tied up along the wall. And he'll drain the clock here in this second period. What a change of events here in Buffalo. It was a 3-2 lead for the Buffalo Sabres. And all of a sudden, it is 5-3 Canadiens. Wow, this game is just getting crazier and crazier by each passing period we've seen here. What do we expect in the third period? 10 goals? This has been a chaotic Game 5, and we'll be back with our intermission report coming up next. 3 goals by the Canadiens has them up 5-3 after 40 minutes. Well, you thought the first period was crazy. It was all Canadiens, and the goal scoring in the second period, a 3-2 Buffalo lead has now turned into a 5-3 Canadiens advantage. And now the eyes are looking at Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen as fault for why the Sabres are trailing 2 goals now. Unbelievable action. We'll go over the goal scoring, obviously. Shots in that second period were 11-7 in favor of the Canadiens. The shots total of the game, 22-16 in favor of Montreal. And let's go over the 3 goals that were scored by the Canadiens. At 8:01, a 3-3 tie. Anderson had an open net to shoot at as Hudson was driving to the net. Open net for Josh Anderson. 3-3, 8:01 in. Then, at the worst time for the Sabres and for the break by the Montreal Canadiens, Demidov just shooting one on Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. You think he stopped it? No. It slides behind him, and Evans pokes it home for the 4-3 lead for the Canadiens. And then a power play, a costly penalty by Tage Thompson, results in Slavkovsky. The blocked pass here by Power actually allows Slavkovsky to regather it. Then Suzuki to the 5-hole, one-times that one home. A snapshot, 17:33, just a minute and 15, or around a minute and 15 later. Unbelievable what we've seen from the Montreal Canadiens here in this period. It's just unbelievable. They take advantage of their own power play, and just crazy stuff we're seeing here in this Game 5, because unbelievable action we've had here, and I'm glad you have tuned in with us here on our coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs here. Ignore the green. This is a green screen. I'm not actually in Buffalo. See, here you go. Oh, there's my intermission report. My intermission report thing. And, hold on, let me get this to look better now. Okay, now we're back to, you can kind of tell the green's there. So, wow. Now I'm in actual shock right now because Montreal looked dead at some points in the period. They really turned it up. They really did. And Buffalo really had chances to really build on that lead, and they really did. I mean, Dobas made some big saves, but man, they just let it slip away, and all the momentum has gone to the Canadiens, and just that deflating goal allowed by Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, that is just brutal for the Buffalo Sabres. If you're the Montreal Canadiens, hallelujah, because that shot was a nothing shot towards Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, and it somehow squeaks through. Evans pokes it home, and the Canadiens got a power play goal afterwards with Nick Suzuki, who has been great in these Stanley Cup playoffs for the Montreal Canadiens, and they're just 20 minutes away. 20 minutes away from being up 3-2 in the series and going back to the Bell Center with this 3-2 series lead. And if you're Buffalo, that's a tough building to play at. Any road team. Yeah, it's a tough building to play at, regardless of what team you are. Bell Center is tough. So the Sabres will need a miracle here in the third period to get 2 goals to tie this game up at 5 if they don't allow any more. And the question is, will they keep UPL in net, or will they go to Lyon? I'm not quite sure why they went to UPL in Game 4. I know he allowed 6 or 5 or whatever, but after Game 4, you probably should have put back Alex Lyon in net, because I feel like he's been the better goalie in this series than Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. He has not. He's not been very good in these playoffs, and it's shown here. Alex Lyon in this playoffs, 4-3, 2.18 goals against average, a save percentage of a .921, no shutouts, but it's mind-boggling how they went back to UPL for another game. I thought they maybe after Game 4 they go back to Lyon, maybe alternate a little bit, maybe. No, they stuck with UPL, and right now UPL's really let in a bad goal. That is just unbelievable. Randy, I got some bad news for you. The Sabres are losing the game. I don't know why I'm laughing, but I am. I don't know. All right, let's read the chat here while we're at it. There's a lot of Montreal fans right now. Doing great, Montreal, by Brian Hamilton. And I'm a Jeepster. You can thank me, folks. I left the room If I leave the room, the Habs score. Well, I think you might have to stay in the other room for the rest of the third period for your Canadiens fans. Oh, man. And obviously Randy, a Buffalo Sabres fan, now seeing, they're down 5-3 right now. So, that's brutal. We'll see what the Buffalo Sabres can do here, because, yikes, they really deflated in those last 4 minutes after Evans scored the go-ahead goal, and it's just been deflating ever since. They have to mentally reset here going into this third period. If you're Montreal, continue to do what you were doing in that second period. You played a good game in that second period. You played a good period. You want to keep the momentum going, but you obviously know Buffalo is trying to build back to a comeback here. And if you're Buffalo, you need one of your top players to get going, and it's Alex Tuch. Alex Tuch has 4 goals in the playoffs, but he has had none here in the series. He has to step up here for the Sabres. So, you need your big guys to perform here. You need Tage to perform too. He's had some goals. You could then argue the last game with the puck bouncing off the stanchion. It was a lucky one. Still a goal though. But they need to step up. They need the top players to step up here for the Sabres. And right now, Montreal's big players are stepping up right now. Suzuki with a power play goal. Cole Caulfield with a goal. That top line has been destroying the Sabres all game. It's just yikes. It's unbelievable. And if you have any questions in the chat, everybody, or what you think is going to happen here in the third period, say it down below right now in the chat. I will be back in 1 minute with this break. Intermission report. We'll be back and we'll read the chat afterwards. And we welcome you back, everybody. Intermission report here on the NHL and MHS. A 5-3 lead for the Canadiens here in Game 5 of this series. Buffalo will need a miracle to come back here in this Game 5 to tie this game at 5. And we'll see if they can do so, obviously. I mean, this game's been crazy enough. I won't doubt that there's going to be some push here by the Buffalo Sabres to come back in this game. So, while we're at it, though, let's look at the schedule for the conference final, as that one's just been released to the public. And there's our schedule. Let's see if I can make this any bigger. Okay, this is Wednesday. Wednesday, Game 1 of that series of Vegas or Anaheim at Colorado. Then Friday, May 22nd, Colorado. Yeah, man, just for the rest of the series, it's going to be Colorado, either Vegas or Anaheim. Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, and Tuesday are games 1 through 4. Games 1 through 3 already have confirmed times of 7 o'clock p.m. Central, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Games 5, 6, and 7 will be 7 o'clock, 8 p.m. Eastern starts for that in the conference final in the West. Now, different scenarios here. If you're the Buffalo Sabres. If the Buffalo Sabres and Montreal Canadiens decide their series in 6, the schedule will be the one on the top with Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, with the series starting in Carolina regardless. But if this series goes 7, this conference final, the Eastern Conference final, will start on Thursday, May 21st. And then, we'd have that happening. Game 2 on the 7-game schedule would be Game 3 on the 6-game schedule. So, we know that. The times are not determined just yet. We do know the network. We do know that it's either going to be Buffalo or Montreal facing the Carolina Hurricanes. We do know Carolina will be hosting the first 2 games of that series. So the schedules for that confirmed just moments ago during our intermission. And, let's look at our chat real quick. Hello from Andros Island, Bahamas. Oh, wow. Wow, that's cool. Very cool. Hope you're enjoying that. And for Montreal fans, you're enjoying your lead. Now, you have to hold on for one more period. Can they hold on? Or will the Buffalo Sabres get 2 goals here in the 3rd period and somehow tie this game at 5? Here in Game 5 of this series, we'll figure it out in just a few moments. We'll be back, everybody. Game 5 between the Montreal Canadiens and the Buffalo Sabres is brought to you by the coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs on the NHL on MHS. Now we're getting you back into the 3rd period, a big one for the Sabres if they can get the comeback and try to tie this game at 5. For the Canadiens, they're just trying to hold on for one more period, and they'll have a 3-2 series lead going back to the Bell Center for Game 6. And that's in a crucial 20 minutes to play here in this Game 5. We have seen crazy stuff in these Stanley Cup playoffs. A 3-goal lead evaporated last night for the Minnesota Wild, and they lost their series in 5 against the Colorado Avalanche. What will we see here in Buffalo? Maybe we'll see something even crazier than we saw last night. And now the question is Ukko Luukkonen in that right now? That is the question at hand. Series tied at 2. The Canadiens hold on. It will be a 5-3 lead, and as suspected, like we talked about in our intermission, Lyon is back in net. He relieves him again after 2 periods like he did in Game 2 of the Buffalo series. And Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, again, showing holes like he has this whole playoffs, it seems like. 3rd period here in Buffalo. The Sabres will need a comeback to tie this at 5. Back in on side is Suzuki with Caulfield cutting. Suzuki fires it around the boards. Caulfield in behind the net. Stolen away here, and the Sabres look to counter the other way. Doan, 5-on-3 the other way for the Sabres. Drop pass in the middle. Shot! Fired wide! Dahlin shot deflected down, and no, it did not go. Benson shot from the boards was stopped. Rebound tied up. Shot by Dahlin was blocked on the way through. Now a backhand by Benson over the net. Dahlin. The Sabres pressuring early on here in the 3rd period. Now a 2-on-1 the other way. Slafkovsky. Samuelson's the only one back. Slafkovsky! And it hit the post, or it got the save. Lyon might have gotten a piece of that or hit the post. Dobish will glove that. 58 seconds into the 3rd period, and the action will not slow down here in Game 5. Hudson was the man wide open. It did hit the post. And that almost looked eerily similar to Arvidsson scoring early on in the 3rd period on a 2-on-1 in the game number 2 when Lyon came in relief. That looked eerily similar. But that time, Slafkovsky hit the post. 2-0 this postseason. 2+ goal lead entering the 3rd period for the Canadiens. Those kind of stats are meant to be broken. 18-0-1 in the regular season. Krebs deflected out the center. Matheson has the puck now. Can they lock it down, the Canadiens? That will be the question. The Canadiens just trying to hold on to their 5-3 lead. The Buffalo Sabres just trying to come back in this game to tie the game up. Back in on side of the Canadiens. Bounce to the middle offside as the pass was intended for Demidov. And the turning point. Tage Thompson had a breakaway. Could have made it 4-2. Denied by Dobish. Then he took a penalty when it was 4-3 Montreal, and then Suzuki. 1 times it in. Tage Thompson, the frustration has been building for him in these playoffs. He has not had an elite performance as we saw in that Game 1 of that Boston series. Greenway's back in on side. Fires a shot, save made. Domish right into the glove. Faceoff will stay in the Montreal end. 1:50 in. (24-19) the shots favoring the Canadiens here in the game. Buffalo trying to come back. Canadiens trying to hold on. Share the stream around. It should be a good finish here in Buffalo this 3rd period. This is the 3rd time in the series already that the Canadiens have scored at least 5 in a game. They scored 5 in Game 2. They scored 6 in Game number 3. And they've scored 5 here already. Buffalo Sabres have allowed a lot of goals here in this series. Dahlin plays that back. Doan across one-timer. Samuelson denied. And it's cleared out. Now another 2-on-1. Now a 2-on-2. Demidov in on side. Demidov during the net. Got taken down and a penalty upcoming. And a shot blocked on the way through. And it's a hooking call as Demidov draws the call and the Canadiens back to the power play.
Next minor penalty cross-checking.
It's a cross-check instead of a hooking. The call made by Graham Skilleter. Referees in the games, Chris Rooney, Graham Skilleter. And the linespersons, Bevan Mills and Keel Murchison. So the Canadiens have a chance to make it a 3-goal lead and basically put this one away. As Dahlin cross-checks Demidov from behind on a drive to the net. Power play now for the Canadiens. They're 1-for-1 in the game. And now a chance to make it a 3-goal lead. Cross-checking by Rasmus Dahlin. Evans, Demidov, Newhook, Gooley, and Carey out here on the power play, the first unit. Slafkovsky and Greenway in the face-off dot. Won by Greenway. Bounces to the middle. Mallenstein backhands that one down the length of the ice. Immediately off that faceoff. Dobish. Now Hudson. If they score here, this could really put the game away. And all the momentum has been on Montreal's side for the past half a period here. On the backhand, Suzuki. Caulfield along the wall. Safkowski played back to the line. Hudson. Caulfield along the half wall. Got in the circle. Now Suzuki. Suzuki plays that back. Hudson. Doesn't have any room. Got to Suzuki. Hudson. Backhands the pass back here for Suzuki along the boards. Got it to Caulfield down low. Along the wall. Near the goal line. He drifts. Played back at Hudson. Hudson the shot. And that one whistled wide. Demidov looking. Got it to Hudson once again. Fires a shot that got blocked on the way through by Mallenstein. Demidov once again. Looks. Fires. Wide of the net. Demidov waiting. Plays that back. Suzuki. Nice move, Suzuki. And deflected away. Hudson. 50 seconds to go in the power play here for the Canadiens. Lane Hudson. Lost the handle. Demidov, but held in by Hudson. Samuelson tried to clear it. Could not. Safkowski. Now to Demidov. Shot. Score! Demidov! 6-3 Canadiens. Unbelievable. He has been great in this game, and he puts the insurance home on the power play. Beats line on the glove side there. And wow. Another power play goal for the Canadiens. They're 2 for 2, and it's 6-3. They have scored on both of the shots that they have taken on the power plays. Only 2 shots of the Canadiens. They've scored on both. And they're 2 for 2 in the game, and it's 6-3. And they've scored 4 unanswered. Spanning back to the second period. Played back to the line, Matheson. He plays it. Deflected! Save! Doc with the opportunity right in front. And now it is Quinn the other way. Matheson. Zucker. And Canadiens right now playing their game right now. They look great. Mike Matheson with the puck. Man, have the Canadiens dominated. I always mess up on these goal calls, too. This is not a good day. It's just not good. Darlene fires it off the backboards. Played into the middle. Here's McLeod back in on side. The drop pass, tucked shot blocked on the way through. Off a stick in front. Deneau deflected. Darlene tried to move it ahead. So 2 costly penalties here by the Sabres. And it's 6-3 in favor of the Canadiens here in Game 5. Deflected back in on side. Drive in behind the net now. McLeod. Thompson on the backhand looking. Turnaround shot was stopped by Dobish. Demidov had the goal right there. Demidov with his first goal of these playoffs. Got the assist on the Evans goal. And his first career postseason goal. And it's cleared out. Power play goal. Safkowski and Suzuki with the assists on that. And it's 6-3. Deflected back in. Wide of Dobish. No icing. Along the boards. Goulet. Got it free. Norris. Tied up along the wall. Norris. Back to the line. Power. The pass for Byron blocked away. Montreal playing their game right now because they have the lead comfortably right now with a 3-goal advantage here in Game 5. Buffalo will really need a miracle here at the KeyBank Center. 3 assists for Slavkowski in the game. He's been on fire. Centering pass, shot, and it whistled wide. Centering pass comes to the front. Unbelievable. The Canadiens are just creating grade A opportunities while the Sabres are just collapsing in this game. Zucker will move it ahead. 6 minutes have passed here in the third period. A power play goal by the Canadiens, and the Buffalo crowd already frustrated by the play of their Sabres. Turnover at the line. Quinn deflected into the Canadiens bench. 13:47 to go here in the third period. Let's look at the chat here. Buffalo has always been cursed like the Boston Red Sox, and I believe after that power play goal was scored, losers get paid too, so just go out on the ice and have fun. No winners in Buffalo. Ooh, what a statement. We'll be back. 6-3 in favor of the Montreal Canadiens. Looking you back here to Buffalo, a 6-3 lead for the Canadiens here in Game 5. It's just been a Canadiens attack after the tying goal by Anderson. Hudson with the centering pass to Anderson. Then the goal that got him on top with Evans, the poke home. And now the Canadiens have just taken complete control of Game 5. And barring any miracle here by the Sabres, it is going to stay that way probably. And, wow, just pure shock if you're a Buffalo fan here. And for the Canadiens, that one's going to be an icing here. No, waved off at the last second. That one's going to be the icing. No, Dubich decided to say, let's play it. Caulfield off his skate. Samuelson gets back. Flip the pass ahead now as it's Thompson deflecting it back in. Nothing going here for the Sabres. Nothing in this third period. Gooley got the pass. Dobson deflecting. And Byram plays that back here for Power. Back for Byram once again. Sabres trying to get one back here in the third. Shot blocked into the corner. Comes back for Power at the point. To the corner it goes Byram. Byram into the middle. The deflection went wide. Doc and now Veleno. 2-on-1 potentially here for the Canadiens. Now it's a 2-on-2. Bolduc dropped into the middle. That's broken up there nicely by Norris. Josh Norris trying to drop it off here for Power. Tie up along the wall. Played back to the line. Byram has some room. Bowen Byram looking. Played back. Power the shot save. Deflected on the way through and Dobish was able to make the save there. Tonight, Game 6, Golden Knights and the Ducks. Can the Ducks force it to 7? And if they do, it will be on Saturday at 4 o'clock p.m. Central in Vegas for Game 7. We've had so many, or not so many, we've had so little Game 7, so I'm hoping we do get a Game 7 in that series. Game 6 of the series will be on Saturday as well, 7 o'clock p.m. Central. 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And if there's a Game 7 necessary in this series, we'll be back here in Buffalo at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Monday. Shot wide of the net by Krebs. Cleared out to center. As Darlene played that back, the Sabres have just collapsed here in this Game 5. While the Canadiens have a resilient effort here on the road, right now at the moment is paying off as they have a 6-3 lead. That will be no icing at the last second. As now, they'll look to move it ahead. Back in onside, Quinn disrupted there. Nothing going here for Buffalo. They can't find any room on the ice to do anything. Darlene, they're going to need a power play or something to rejuvenate them here, but I think overall, momentum's going to the Montreal Canadiens. Thompson played back Tuck. Tuck then lost it. Now Power will move it ahead. Back in onside. Owen Power got it along the wall. Played back into the line. Byram with some room. He waits. Got the pass into the middle. A backhander was blocked in front, and Dobish, I think, got a piece of it. Power once again. Hellenius looking. Fires one through. Traffic deflected and the save made. Byram again. Fires. Save. Dobish. Yeah, a little bit physical in front of the net. One of the Sabres got taken down in front. Jackeye and Tuck tying up in front of the net. 10:58 to go in the third period here in Game 5. No penalties out of that, I believe. Our poll with 220 votes. Wow, we did a good job, guys, today. 79% have gone to the Canadiens, 21% to the Sabres. And right now, the Canadiens are winning by a score of 6-3. Buffalo had some chances, though. Trying to make a 6-4 game with 11 minutes to go in the third. He allowed 3 goals on the first 4 shots he faced. Dobish, he has been perfect ever since. Off the draw. Deflected. Matheson has it in his own corner, and he'll flip it out to center. Benson goes back for the loose puck in his own zone. Zach Benson off the boards, almost gave it away. And Darlene regathers the puck here for the Sabres. Doan is back in, crossing the line, left it there. Samuelson shot, blocked it away, rebound, deflected down, loose puck on the side of the cage, they whack at it. It goes into the corner instead. Another shot was blocked, rebound comes in front, and Doan can never get a shot away. Darlene now to Benson in behind. Centering pass is blocked away. Comes back for Darlene, shot, deflected wide. Samuelson to the corner it goes. Benson tied up along the wall. Samuelson knocked it down, cleared out of the zone by the Canadiens. Buffalo creating some chances here. If they can get one, maybe they can get some momentum back on their side. With half a period to go here in the third period. We have seen crazy stuff in these Stanley Cup playoffs. Here's Quinn back in. Drag move. Shot. Save Dobish. Oh, boy. The Buffalo Sabres creating some opportunities. Dobish being very big in net with 9:54 to go. We'll be back in just a moment. big game in the West tonight. The Golden Knights trying to eliminate the Anaheim Ducks. The Ducks trying to force a Game 7 on Saturday. Will they? That'll be the question. That should be a good game to watch. 9:54 left to go in the third period in our game here tonight. The Sabres trailing the game 6-3 over the Canadiens. And Canadiens play on Saturday with this Game 6, either up 3-2 or down 3-2 if the Sabres somehow miraculously come back here in the game. They've done it once in the third period. Will they do it again? Question at hand here. Bounce into the middle. Backhanded out of the zone by Anderson. Deflected. No icing. Going back for the puck now is Power. Stolen away here by Texier. Texier spins back. He looks. Plays it around the boards. Thompson. Now to the corner, Texier. Played back to the line. Held in by Gooley. Long shot deflected. Where's the puck? It bounced up into the netting and out of play. 9:25 to go in the third period here in game number 5. Just nothing has gone right. Power, I think, went down awkward. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, Power is going down. That looked awful. His foot just twisted around the opposite side. Yikes, a scary collision along the boards. He fell and lost an edge, and his skate just, that is just bad. So it gets bad to worse here for the Sabres, because now they're down 0 in Power. And that might be an injury. We might have to look at that as a storyline going into Game 6 with the absence of potentially Owen Power in the lineup. Darlene back in, drop pass. Here's Doan, and who do you take in his place there for Owen Power? Because, I mean, you got to find someone to fill up your roster there. In these Stanley Cup playoff games, what do you call up? Do you call up anyone? Do you get anyone that's just not playing right now, like a Tanner Pearson or Osland or Kessel? Not Kesselring. Now Darlene in the middle, or Carrick at one point. I mean, you got to figure out something if Power's going to be out, because that looked kind of bad right there. Deflected out to center. Knocked down by Veleno. Has it near the Buffalo bench. Deflected around the boards. Lyon. Buildup out of his reach. Samuelson clears it out to center. Nothing going for Buffalo. And that's going to seem like it's going to be the trend here. Montreal, 8:22 away from the victory here in Game 5. McLeod will carry it ahead through the middle. Guy to Quinn now. Drag shot off the post. Now Byram once again. Played back for Quinn. He waits. He delays. Shot! Deflects out of play. 8:04 to go in the third. Quinn has been able to create some opportunities here for the Buffalo Sabres, though, here in this third period. .804 to go in the third period. Power's back on the bench. He looks scary there because he fell down awkwardly and his leg just, yikes. Buffalo goalie stinks tonight. Change him next game on Saturday night. They probably will go back to Alex Lyon for Game 6. It's a do or die for the Sabres if they lose this one. And for the Canadiens, they have a chance to move on to the conference final for the first time in a very long time. Since 2021. The previous time at home with a playoff crowd and not empty, 2010 with you just got locked in net. Thompson deflects it back in. Matheson now has the puck. Tuck steals it away along the wall. Here is Byram now with the puck near his own blue line. Backhands that one through traffic and a save made. Dobish. Buffalo's put on the shots here, but nothing really dangerous, you could say, here in this third period. Quinn trying to drive towards the net. He's been creating opportunities here for the Sabres. Krebs around the boards. Quinn trying to get there. Matheson does instead. Carrier now plays that back here for Mike Matheson. Spins back. in behind his own net, pressured off the puck. Carrier around the boards. Cleared out to center by the Canadiens with less than 7 minutes to go in the third period. Flipped back in here by Caulfield. A bouncing puck gloved by Lyon. 6:45 to go. We get a whistle. In a 6-3 lead for the Canadiens here in Game 5. Just that time away from being up 3 games to 2 in the series. Powers still on the bench, trying to test out his leg here. I don't know if that's going to work because that looked really awful. He's on the bench. The pain and the things that hockey players go through in these type of Stanley Cup playoff runs is just unbelievable. That's the amount of respect you got to show them here. It's just unbelievable. Hockey players are a different type of athlete. It's unbelievable. In these Stanley Cup playoffs, no injury will keep you out basically unless it's completely like unplayable if you can't even play. Back in on side. Darlene Benson's shot fired wide on the blocker side as it deflected out of play. The faceoff will stay in the Montreal end. Darlene and I think it deflected, so that's why he never got the pass to Darlene. He had the deflection. Oh, it might have hit the crossbar? Crossbar blocker. 6:29 to go in the third. In a 6-3 lead, and Lyon is being pulled in an empty net at the other end. They need 3. Can they get 1 at least? That will be the question. They need 3 to tie. It will be an absolute miracle if they do. Goalie. But why the heck not? This game has been chaos anyways. Doan in behind the net, trying to wrap it around. Empty net at the other end. Chipped out of the zone. Rolling. It continues to roll. And no, Samuelson gets there first. Matthias Samuelson, now Tage Thompson cutting in. Tage Thompson's shot off the stick of Dobish. Carey got angled off along the boards. Norris has it on the backhand, pressured along the wall. Norris, puck free, clear to the line, not out, held in by the Sabres. Tage Thompson gets high-sticked. No penalty. The referee saw it and decided not to call it. At the side of the net, it went. Benson. They tie up along the wall. Buffalo's only had 1 power play in the game. Matthias Samuelson shot, and a save made Dobish. And Tage Thompson wants an explanation on why he did not get a high-sticking call. 5:37 to go. Empty net for the Sabres. We'll be back. Series tied at 2. Canadiens 5:37 away from taking a 3-2 series lead in Game 5. 5:37 to go in the third period, and an empty net for the Sabres. The face-off. It's one here. Quinn along the boards. Played that back to the line for Byram. Byram plays it. One-timer! Darlene ripped it wide. Quinn along the boards. Played it into the middle. Zucker. Quinn along the half wall. Played it back to the line. Byram holds it in off the skate of Darlene. Bounced towards the front. Here's Tuck. A shot! Deflected wide. 5:14 to go. Emptying it at the other end. Darlene gloves it down at center. The Sabres will need 3 to tie this game up at 6 here in Game 5. Round the boards. Played back to the line. Darlene shot deflected. It was blocked on the way through. Quinn along the wall. Quinn tied up by Suzuki. Zucker tying up there along the wall still. In the corner. Shot by Tuck was blocked away. Darlene now holds it in with less than 5 minutes to go in the third period. Byram. Darlene's shot deflected. McLeod now looking. Cross the ice. The pass deflected. Empty net at the other end. And they missed wide as an icing there on the Canadiens of 4:32 to go as Yuri Slafkovsky, who've already 3 assists in the game, trying to make it an empty net goal to seal the win. With 4:32 to go here in the third period. It is a 6-3 lead for the Canadiens. 4:32 to go. If Buffalo makes a miracle here, it'd be hilarious and also quite stunning. We'll see, though. Canadiens, though, have dominated. Shot. Deflected. Suzuki for that empty net. Another icing. With 4:23 to go. No, they don't call it icing. Oh, that's weird. Thompson. I think that might have hit the weird part of the boards. Thompson's shot blocked on the way through. Power around the boards. Empty net at the other end for the Sabres. Trying to score 3. Anderson going for that empty net. That will be icing this time with 4:04 to go in the third. Still down by 3. And the big boys will probably get back on the ice here for the Sabres. (34-26) the shots favoring Buffalo. All the majority of the shots have just been perimeter shots for the Sabres in this third period. Byram got it. Here's Darlene. Back for Byram once again at the blue line looking. Less than 4 to go in the third. Byram again has the puck. They got to shoot here. They need 3 goals in the last 4 minutes of this third period. Zucker now it is played along the wall. Centering pass. Too tough to handle there for McLeod. Zucker along the wall. Tuck across, and they couldn't go. Darlene fixed the shot. And now taken down was one of the Buffalo Sabres. That's going to be a penalty upcoming here. And that's going to be a power play for Buffalo. As Hudson, I believe, takes the penalty. And now a Sabre down on the ice. Byram got taken down. Byram's slow to get up, and they might be 2. Cross-check on Hudson. There might be more.
Chelsea.
They are conferencing about this. This could be a 5-on-3 here for the Sabres. Hold on. This could change everything. Quinn got cross-checked from the side by Hudson. And then Byram slashed the back of Anderson. Anderson actually slashed the back of Byram. This should honestly be 2 penalties. And now we're going to see what the officials decide on that.
Is on the play. Montreal 48, minor penalty cross-checking. Montreal 17, minor penalty slashing. Buffalo penalty number 6, minor penalty cross-checking.
Benson is going to get a penalty, and that evens it out. So still a power play. It will not be a 5-on-3. Hudson wondering why he got called, and the Sabres wondering why they got a penalty out of all that. Buffalo will need a quick power play goal here if they want to get some momentum back on their side of things. Buffalo's still confused on why they got a penalty with Benson, but regardless of that, you got 3:28 to go on the clock. You got a power play here. If you score one quickly, you're just down by 2, and maybe some hope here for Buffalo. This will be some late game dramatics here if the Sabres somehow rally from this deficit. This could be the turning point, or this just might be just filler. Byram's actually in the box, not Benson. So still an empty net for the Sabres. It will be a 6-on-4 advantage for Buffalo, but the empty net at the other end, Montreal just has to score that empty net, and they can't even ice it either because it's a power play for the Sabres. Off the draw, one by the Buffalo. They need one here quickly. Quinn looking. Back for Darlene. Darlene got it low for Quinn. Referee's in the way. Quinn centering pass, and Norris could never get the shot away. And cleared down the length of the ice by Carrier. 3 minutes to go in the third period. A power play for Buffalo and an empty net at the other end for the Sabres. Down by 3 here in Game 5. Thompson carries it ahead. Got it along the wall here for Doan. Back for it is Darlene. Quinn looking. Got it low. Benson. Waits, spins back. Quinn looking. Benson again down low. Backdoor feed, couldn't connect there for Doan. Here's Doan now. Thompson once again. 2.5 to go. Down low it goes again. Backdoor feed blocked away. Centering pass. Save Dobish. Rebound still loose in front of the net. It's cleared out of the zone. It rolls towards the empty net and wide. And Norris just cross-checked kind of Evans there as they were pushing and shoving afterwards. 2:15 to go in the third. Darlene back in onside. Nice move and covered up by Dobish. 2:10 to go, and then Darlene got hit up high. And there's another penalty upcoming. I think there might be a penalty. The tensions here in Buffalo getting real high. Newhook and Benson. Wow. I'm not sure if we're getting more penalties out of this. Misconduct's being handed out. 43 seconds to go on the man advantage for the Sabres. Empty net, and they're 2:10 away from being down 3-2 in the series. And barring any miracle here, it will be Montreal going back home with a 3-2 advantage in the series. Our poll, 252 votes. Wow. 80% of them have gone to Canadiens, and right now it is in the favor of, you guessed it, the Canadiens. Oh, Darlene. Oh, wow. Dobish actually does slash Darlene there. 2:10 to go in the third. Everyone's standing here. The Sabres make a miracle here, or the Canadiens just put it away with a 7-3 goal here in the empty net. Elenius around the boards. Tuck was tied up along the wall. Suzuki. 2 minutes to go in the third period of Game 5. Played back Power. He has a wide open man. Can never settle the pass down. Elenius looking. Back for Power once again. Feeds it low. Power once again. Looking. Fires. Deflected. Wide of the net. Tuck now. Elenius. Power once again. Looking. Played it at back. McLeod shot wide of the net. It might have gone blocked in front of the net with 1.5 to go in the third. Elenius looking. Waiting again along the wall. Power play is over for the Sabres. Shot deflected wide of the net. Elenius, another shot deflected down low. Blocked in front. Empty net at the other end. Here is Anderson trying to get there, and Helenius gets there first. McLeod bobbles the puck with 1:10 to go in the third. That much time away from a 3-2 series lead for the Canadiens. McLeod will fire it around the boards. Krebs now. And it's cleared out. No icing. Waved off at the last minute as the final minute here in Buffalo for Game 5. 6-3 Canadiens. Quinn back in on side. Quinn looking. Quinn in behind the net. Still has it. Left it there. Centering pass blocked away. Darlene fell on the puck. Samuelson now in the corner. Norris And then the pass failed there by Norris to Dahlin. Empty net off the side of the net. Dahlin has the puck once again. Stretches it ahead now for Thompson. He waits. Canadiens fans already on their feet. Thompson looks. To the corner it goes. Samuelson now back. Shot by Shen. Deflected. Down. And not cleared out yet. Play via a high stick potentially. Yes, it is. 7.5 to go in the period. And now everybody head to the exits right now. 7.5 away. Dobish and the Canadiens had a horrific start. Dobish allowing that. And the Canadiens are going to move to 5-0 following a loss this postseason. They have been a great response team in these Stanley Cup playoffs, and they do it again on the road. Already taking 2 here in Buffalo. And the Canadiens have a 3-2 lead in the series and will have a chance to move on at the Bell Center back at home. And now everyone gets together after the whistle, but the game is over. And now everyone gets sticks up high, and oh, here we go. Goulet, here we go. Bolduc, and man, they're all fighting now at the end of everything. Mounstead had Goulet on a headlock. Doc has him now. Lots of sticks on the ice. But that won't change the score. Oh, a late punch there by Krebs on Bolduc. Here we go. Bolduc and Krebs might go at it. Krebs and Bolduc were tied up. Everyone wants a piece of each other right now. Referee's trying to separate that. They want to go home. Shen and Jackeye as well tied up, but the linesman's in between them. Well, the Canadiens with a great response here on the road, and I don't think this is still done yet. They're trying to separate them right now. All right, it looks like we're done here. I don't know if they're done or not. Dobish arguing here. I don't know what's happening. So, that will probably do it now. 6-3, your final here in Buffalo. The Canadiens with another road win. They are 5-0 following a loss. And your final here in Buffalo. Les Canadiens de Montreal have a 3-2 lead in the series with a chance to close it out on home ice on Game 6 on Saturday night. 6-3, your final, the game-winning goal by Jake Evans. I'm Max. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next time here on the NHL and MHS.